Hello children, how are you all? I welcome you all back to English language class. And today, as we know, we are continuing the previous lesson that we are doing, right? So we did prose 5 lesson for Nakul. So this is the second part of the lesson that we had done in the previous class, children. And this lesson, a lesson for Nakul, is written by Neela Subramanian. Now, children, have you heard this word called as graphic English? Yes? No? Okay. Now, I will give you a task, children. So, what is the task is, find the English phrase the picture represents by using the position and arrangement of the letters and words in each box. So, let us move to the first box, children. Now, can you see the position of the word that is placed, and can you guess what the phrase is? Yes? Yes, it is Red Cross. Now, let us move to the second block, children. Now, look at the position of the words. Yes, have you guessed it? Yes, the answer is just between you and me. Very good, children. Now, the third one. Now, look at the position where back and back is. Yes, yes, the answer is back to back. Now, here comes the fourth one. Yes, can you guess this? Yes, it is reading between the lines. So, you have come across these phrases. So, did you see how it is represented through this pictures? Now, this is called as graphic English. Did you like the activity? Okay then. Now, let us move to the assignment. So, I had given you a question. Now, the question was, in what ways does Akash help Nakul? Now, through this question, we can also recapitulate what we did in the previous lesson, right? Now, so we saw that Nakul and Akash, they are both studying in the 6th standard, and here the question was, how did Akash help Nakul in different ways? The first instance is when Nakul is dejected because he could not answer all the problems in the maths exam. Akash tells him not to take it to the heart as it was not the final exam. He asked him to write faster next time or set his watch 10 minutes ahead so he could answer all the questions. The second instance is that later when Nakul panics thinking he had not written his name or roll number on his answer paper, Akash accompanies him to the teacher and gets that doubt cleared. So, this is the second instance. So, the third instance is that Nakul was given an important role in a drama. Nakul was diffident because he had to learn a number of lines. So, he is worried that he had to learn so many lines. So, Akash promised to help him, and with Akash's help, Nakul learned all the lines. Nakul acted well in the drama and he thanked Akash for his help. So, this way you can see Akash helping Nakul. Now, the second question was, match the idioms given in column A with their meanings in column B. Now, see the first one, in the good books. So, the meaning of this is in favor with. So, I thought I will also give you a sentence for that. For example, Mr. Vishu works hard to be in the good books of his boss, means to be in favor with this boss. Second one, to lose one's head. The meaning of this is to lose the power of thinking. After her mother's death, Reema seems to have lost her head. Means she has lost the power of thinking. Next, at a stone's throw means at a short distance. So, you can say Susan lives just a stone's throw away from the park, means at a short distance. Fourth one, to add fuel to the fire, to worsen the matter. So, when a couple or when somebody is fighting, it is better not to say something that would add fuel to the fire. Next, to sell like hot cakes. It means to have a very good sale. So, the new car in the market is being sold like hot cakes, means it is having a very good sale. To bell the cat means to take risk. So, here the boy is saying, who is going to bell the cat and tell dad that our new table broke while we were playing. So, means who is going to take the risk of telling daddy that we broke the table. Next, to take by surprise, it means to catch suddenly. So, here you can see the picture of soldiers. Our soldiers descended upon the enemy encampment just before daybreak and took their troops entirely by surprise. Now, at arm's length, it means at a distance. After they discovered about his cheating, the boss no longer trusts him and keeps him at a arm's distance. The ninth one is through and through, means completely. Yesterday, we enjoyed the rain, although we got wet in rain through and through, which means we got wet in rain completely. Now, learn by heart. This you must have heard in your classroom, right? Means to memorize. So, the teacher asked the students to learn by heart the poem she taught in the class. Now, children, so with that we have come to the end of our assignment. Now, let's move on to the today's lesson. So, before that, let's learn some of the meanings. So, what you are supposed to do is you have to guess the meaning of the underlined words. I have given you a sentence and I have underlined a word there. You have to guess the meaning of it. Now, look at this picture. So, how is the mother looking? She seems to be angry, right? Sometimes mothers are annoyed at the irresponsible attitude of their children. So, what is the meaning of annoyed? Means angry, to become angry. Next, now look at this picture. So, how is the expression of the girl? She seems to be a little sad, isn't it? Now, Sushma looks gloomy after her father's death. Can you guess what is the meaning of gloomy here? Yes, it means sad and depressed. Now, look at this boy. How is he? He seems to be happy, active. So, David was a plucky and brave boy. So, what is the meaning of plucky? Here it means spirited. Now, look at this girl. At this young age, she is playing the guitar. So, everyone was marveled by the way the little girl played guitar. So, what is the meaning of marveled then? So, marveled means express astonishment or surprise about something. Now, look at this. Who are these? Yeah, they are workers. So, the workers grumbled about low wages and unhealthy working condition. So, what do you mean by grumble then? So, grumble means complain about something in a bad tempered way. Now, let's move on to reading the lesson. So, today please open page number 35 in your textbook and we'll start reading the lesson from para 27 to 44. So, are you ready with your textbook? Yes. If not, look at the screen as I read, children. Prose 5, a lesson for Nakul, written by Neela Subramanian. The next day, the students were taken to a picnic spot. It's sure to rain, Nakul grumbled gloomily. No, it won't. The sun will come out soon and the day will be fine, Akash declared and looked at Nakul. Why do you always look at the dark side of things? He said. Don't be a wet blanket all the time. Nakul felt annoyed and walked away to join the other boys. He refused to admit that Akash's judgment was correct as usual. The day did turn out to be fine. In spite of this, Nakul found himself unable to enjoy the outing. Was it because of his tiff with Akash that he found himself unable to enjoy the outing? Thought Nakul, who was hidden behind some rocks as he overheard his masters talking. I admire that plucky little fellow, Akash. He is so cheerful despite his lame leg, said Mr. Verghese. You're right. I have been watching him and really marvel at how courageously he faces things, agreed the games master. Do you know, he is always ready to help others. We should certainly do with more boys like Akash, Mr. Verghese remarked. His cheerfulness in the face of difficulty is proving to be a good example to others. I heard from the headmaster that Akash was keen on joining the school as a boarder, though his parents were reluctant to expose their only son to the rough and tumble of boarding school life. Nakul looked thoughtful when he heard all these. He recalled the numerous times when Akash had gone out of his way to help him, though he could have easily looked the other way. Times when he, Nakul, had caught a fleeting glimpse of pain in Akash's eyes when his leg hurt and he thought that no one was watching him. Nakul admitted to himself that Akash's cheerful, positive outlook was like a bracing tonic which influenced his own way of thinking. He also admitted that his constant grumbling must be irritating to someone who liked to look at the brighter side of things. The next day, Nakul saw Akash among the spectators at the football match between classes 7th and 8th. Come on, Rahul, get the ball and pass it on to Deepak, who's nearer to the goal, Akash yelled encouragingly. I'm sorry for leaving you in a huff yesterday. Nakul touched Akash's arms. It's okay. Friends again? Akash smiled. I admire you. Despite your handicap, you're always cheerful. Doesn't it hurt that you can't join in the games? Nakul asked. It did hurt at first, Akash confessed. I was very touchy about it too, till my grandma told me. No one wants to weep with you if you're always sad. Lonely you will never be if you're brave and glad. Search the clouds, you're sure to see a gleam of light will follow, though today is grim and grey. Remember, there is tomorrow. I realized then that I couldn't go through life with the chip on my shoulder, that others in the world are worse off than me. So I decided to spread cheer in my own way, Akash explained. So with this we have come to the reading of the lesson and to the end of the lesson, children. Did you like the lesson, children? Yes. Now, let's understand this lesson through some question. Where did the children go the next day? Yes, is it swimming pool? Is it picnic spot? Or is it zoo? So what is your answer? Yes, the answer is picnic spot. Now, what were the reactions of Nakul and Akash when the sun went down? So, it's sure to rain. Nakul grumbled gloomily. So, while Akash, the sun will come out soon and the day will be fine, Akash declared. So, what's the difference in attitude you find in both the boys? So, you can see Akash is optimistic. He is saying the sun is going to come out. So, Akash is optimistic who takes everything positively, while Nakul is pessimistic who takes everything negatively. So, you are saying it is going to rain. So, this is the pessimistic attitude of Nakul. So, why do you always look at the dark side of things? So, who is the speaker here? It is Akash is the speaker. What do you mean by dark side of things? It means that you are looking at situation in a negative manner. So, why did the speaker say so? Akash heard Nakul grumbling about the rain. He told Nakul not to be a spoil sport, means not to always keep grumbling about things. Akash said to Nakul, don't be a wet blanket all the time. The idiom don't be a wet blanket all the time means, so what does it mean, don't be a wet blanket all the time? So, it means spoil other people's happiness with his or her gloomy pessimistic attitude. Next, he is so cheerful despite his lame leg. So, who is the speaker here? Yes, the speaker is Mr. Verghese. Now, who had lame leg? Yes, it was Akash. His parents were reluctant to expose their only son to the rough and tumble of the boarding school life. Whose parents were reluctant? Yes, it was Akash's parents, because Akash had a lame leg, isn't it? So, what is the meaning of rough and tumble here? It means difficulty or disorderly. So, here sometimes in boarding school it is difficult, person with a lame leg to adjust. So, the parents were worried. So, the next question is, why do you think they were reluctant? So, why were Akash's parents reluctant to put him in the boarding school? So, Akash's parents did not want to admit him into a boarding school and expose him to the difficulties of the boarding school life. So, why was Akash keen on joining the boarding school, though his parents were reluctant? Yes, Akash wanted to join the boarding school and live with others. He wished to spread joy and cheer in his own way. See how positive Akash is. Now, what was the opinion of teachers about Akash? So, in the opinion of the teachers, so we heard in the lesson, Akash was a courageous and cheerful boy. He faced the difficulties with a cheerful attitude. He always tried to help others. He was an example to the other boys as well. So, the teachers admire Akash because, so your options are A, he was good at studies, he was lame and dull, he helped Nakul, or is it because he was always cheerful in the face of difficulties? Yes, the answer is he was always cheerful in the face of difficulties. So, what did Nakul realize after overhearing the conversation of his teachers? So, Nakul was sitting behind the stone, right, and he heard them speaking. So, what did he realize? So, Nakul realized, he recalled the times Akash had gone out of his way to help him. So, we saw in the first answer how Akash had helped him in different ways. Then, Akash's cheerful and positive outlook was like a bracing tonic. It influenced his own way of thinking, and his own negative thinking irritated others. So, he realized all these things. So, the meaning of like a bracing tonic means, so what is the meaning of this? Having a renewed effect on the state of the body or mind, or to drink tonic to strengthen oneself. So, out of these two, which one do you think is the right answer, children? Yes, having a renewing effect on the state of the body or mind. It means to have a refreshing thought. Okay. So, where did Nakul see Akash the next day? So, the next day Nakul saw Akash among the spectators at the football match between class 7 and 8. So, I am sorry for leaving you in a huff yesterday. So, as soon as he goes to see Akash, so he feels very sorry and he apologizes. So, here the phrase in a huff means to live in a hurry or feeling angry and upset or in the middle of the road. So, which one is the right option there, children? Yes, it means feeling angry and upset. So here Nakul is asking sorry to Akash. I admire you despite your handicap. You are always cheerful. So who said these words to whom? Yes, Nakul said these words to Akash. So why does the speaker admire him? Because Akash was differently abled boy. In spite of his disability, he was always cheerful and had a positive outlook towards life. So who helped Akash realize about the positive attitude in life? Was it Akash mother, Akash grandmother or Akash grandfather? Yes, the answer is Akash grandmother. So what did Akash answer when Nakul asked how he remained cheerful despite his handicap? So Akash confessed that he felt hurt at first, but when he heard his grandmother's advice, he decided to be happy always and spread cheer in his own way. So what was the advice given by Akash's grandmother? See how beautifully she says, no one wants to weep with you if you are always sad. So if one is sad always, nobody will cry with you. Lonely you will never be if you are brave and glad. So if one person is brave and glad, he can never be lonely. Search the clouds, you are sure to see a gleam of light will follow, though today is grim and grey. Remember, there is tomorrow. So today you might be sad, but if you search the cloud, you can always see that tomorrow is going to be a wonderful day. So you should always have a positive outlook. So this is the advice given by grandmother to Akash, and such a beautiful advice, it holds good for us too, isn't it, children? I couldn't go through life with a chip on my shoulder. So this was said by Akash. What does the underlined phrase mean here, children? A chip on my shoulder. So it means you feel angry because someone mistreated you. So here Akash in the beginning always felt sad that somebody was mistreating him. Okay, but once he heard to the advice of his grandmother, he changed his outlook towards the life. So what was Akash's attitude towards life? Yes, Akash had a cheerful, positive outlook towards life. He wanted to spread cheer in his own way. So with that, we have come to the end of the questions, children. Now let's pronounce these words. Pen, problem, precaution, corporation, examination. Now, when you articulate these words, you can hear that for every word there is a syllable. Now, in the word pen, how many syllable or how many sound do you hear, vowel sound you hear? You hear one vowel sound, no? Pen, e. Now, look at this word, problem, problem. So, when you split it into two, you hear two vowel sound. Now, look at the third one, precaution. So, you hear three vowel sound. Corporation, corporation. So, how many vowel sounds did you hear? Yes, you heard four vowel sounds. Now, examination, examination. How many vowel sounds did you hear? Yes, you have heard five vowel sound. So, every word is divided into syllable. Now, what is a syllable then? A syllable is a part of a word that contains a single vowel sound. Now, here are few words from the lesson. Now, you have to split the words and then underline the letters that stand for the vowel sound. Now, first one is mistake. So, write down that word, children. Next, constant, favorite, generous and cheerfulness. So, you have to split the word and then you have to underline wherever you hear the vowel sound. Now, mistake. So, here you divided it into two, miss and take, and you have the syllable there, right? I has a vowel sound, A has a vowel sound and E. constant. Con and constant. Next, favorite. Favorite. So, have you divided it like this? Yes, good. Next, generous. Generous. Next one is cheerfulness. Fill in the blanks with suitable idioms in the box and make the necessary changes. So, this is, you find them in page number 42. So, these are the idioms: pull through, give up, blackout, abide by, apple of one's eye, come across, carry out, cry over spilt milk, call a spade, get rid of. So, we learnt about idioms in the previous class, isn't it? So, your first sentence is, if you join a club, you have to dash its rule. Yes, you have to abide by its rule. Second one, the younger son was a dash the mother's eye. So, you have to say apple of. Third one, he had promised to help me, but at the last moment, he backed out. The servant dashed the master's order. So, which is the correct phrase there? Carried out. Yes. Now, fifth one, while reading the life history of reptiles, I dash a very important detail about their food habits. So, I came across. A honest man never hesitates to call a spade means he will give you a correct, accurate answer. Seventh one, a man of action never cries over spilt milk, means that he is not going to cry over the things that has happened in the past. So, these two are idioms, right? Next, thank God he succeeded in dash of his bad habits. What is the answer? It is getting rid of. Next one, don't dash your efforts. The answer is don't give up your efforts. Next, thanks to the excellent medical treatment, he dashed his illness. So, he pulled through his illness, means he recovered from his illness. Now, I hope you have guessed and you have written those answers. At least, have you marked it in your textbooks? Yes? Very good, children. Children, we have come to the end of a beautiful lesson, isn't it? Now, I want you all to watch this video from the YouTube. The video is about positive attitude. I am sure you are going to enjoy this. Please watch the video, children. Children, I enjoyed teaching this lesson, and remember, always stay positive and spread joy in your own way. Thank you, children, and stay happy and blessed. Thank you. Bye, children.